All right. Okay, so we're gonna talk about frame buffers. Frame buffers. From what the name implies, frame buffer, it means storing. So let's say frame. What's a frame? A frame, you can say picture frame, right? You can say that's the first that comes to mind. Picture frame. So basically, we are keeping a picture in a frame. Very simple. So frame buffer, frame stands for, yes, the frame, yes, of course. Buffer stands for storage. So frame that stores picture in a frame that stores picture. Basically, that's what frame buffer is. Simple as that. And from my experience, you can see that anytime we call bind, anytime you hear bind, it means select, click on this, basically use this. So we're saying this frame buffer, which is this object, that's the name we gave it, that's the ID we gave it. This frame buffer, select it. So anytime you see bind buffer, so we're selecting this frame buffer. So from here on, everything we do here is just we setting up our frame buffer, that is our storage area to keep our picture, which is all this that we're doing. So these are our picture here. We want to store them at every single frame, like every time the frame rate is called, every seconds, basically, not seconds, but the frame rate of whatever frame rate it is, we want to call this frame buffer. So what we do here is every time if we come here, you see again we did GL frame buffer, GL bind frame buffer, so we're selecting it. So if we come here, anytime we do bind frame buffer and we do 0, that means we are deselecting it. So we are saying, you know what, toss this guy away, not like toss it away, but keep it to one side, we're not using it now. Now in the draw call, which is while our while loop, we call it again. So basically we call our frame again. So frame, let's store this image. So basically this whatever you see here is what we're rendering, is basically what we are drawing on the screen. So we say store whatever we are drawing on the screen inside this frame buffer, frame storage, store it there, and once you store it, you turn off, you take the frame again, take, take to one side. Then what this one does basically is we've created a plain canvas, so to say, a plain quad, basically a rectangle. We've created it here at the beginning, which is here. So that stores our frame image that we stored in the frame buffer. So that image is this guy. It's called, see, we call bind texture. So anytime we call here bind, that means select this texture, which is this guy that was inside the frame buffer. So basically, imagine you taking your frame, yes, picking that picture out and drawing it. So basically that's it. So you draw it and we're good. So for we to see significant changes now is we're gonna go to shader, basically this, and we're going to activate this guy and deactivate this guy, and you can see let me go back first. So what do we have first? If we render this, you see the color is somehow okay. This is the actual color we had initially. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to switch this one on and switch this one off, this one off, this one on. So let's see what we have. Control F5. So we can see this is a negative version of what we have. So I just did an effect. So think of it as a filter on your phone, or a Photoshop filter or Photoshop blend, or your phone filter. Basically, you just apply a negative filter to your image, basically. So there are so many things you can do with this. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and I think that we will call it a day. Remember, frame buffer is just basically you framing an image and storing it for later use. So frame storage, frame buffer. Ciao ciao.